Good evening, everyone. Let me ask you a question, one that's probably been on the minds of millions of men around the world, even if it's never spoken aloud. Why does being a good man not always make you the one who is loved? I remember sitting with one of my closest friends late at night. He had just gone through a breakup. Heart shattered, tears rolling down his face, he whispered, "I treated her with respect. I never lied. I never cheated. I showed up. I listened. I loved her with everything I had. But she still left." And those words stuck with me. Because we're taught, as men, that if you just do everything right, if you're honest, kind, hardworking, respectful, then love will come, loyalty will follow, a relationship will be guaranteed. But here's the painful truth. Being a good man doesn't guarantee you'll be loved. From childhood, society gives us a blueprint. Be the nice guy. Be responsible. Don't raise your voice. Be emotionally available. Open doors. Provide. Protect. Never hurt anyone. Always do the right thing. And if you do that, you'll get the girl, you'll build a happy home, and you'll be appreciated. It's a comforting idea, but it's not entirely honest. Because real life doesn't function like a Disney movie, the world of dating and relationships isn't a reward-based system. It's not a vending machine where you insert kindness and out comes affection. People are more complex than that. Love isn't a transaction, it's a connection. And sometimes, despite all your goodness, you're just not what someone needs, and that can hurt more than anything. Let's break this down clearly. Being a good man doesn't automatically mean you're the right man. You can be reliable, stable, respectful, and still not be the person who sets someone's soul on fire. You can be everything she says she wants, but not what she's drawn to. Because attraction is emotional, it's irrational, it's unpredictable, it's messy. It's not about resumes of good behavior. It's about how someone feels when they're around you. It doesn't mean you're lacking. It doesn't mean you need to become someone else, but it does mean that no matter how good you are, you might not be what someone wants. And that's okay. Hard to hear, but okay. Now here's where things get tricky. Some men, in trying to be good, fall into what we call nice guy syndrome, and that's where goodness becomes performance. You start believing, if I do enough nice things, she owes me love. If I listen to her problems, she should fall for me. If I respect her boundaries, she'll see I'm different. If I always say yes, never disagree, always support, she'll love me eventually. But here's the hard reality. That's not love. That's a trade. And people can sense that. They know when your kindness comes with expectations. They know when your support is really just a waiting room for affection. That's not being good. That's being manipulative, even if you don't mean to be. And when love doesn't arrive in return, bitterness grows. But remember, love given only in hopes of return is not truly love. Let me shift your perspective. Being a good man is not about being liked. It's not about being chosen. It's not about always getting the girl. Being a good man is about who you are when no one's clapping. It's about character. It's about standing by your principles even when it doesn't bring reward. It's about kindness with no scoreboard, respect with no conditions, love with no contracts. It's about authenticity, not strategy. You don't become a good man to be loved. You become a good man because that's who you choose to be. Not everyone will see your value. Not everyone will stay. But that doesn't make your goodness a mistake. It makes it rare. And in a world full of performative personalities, real character will always find its way to real connection. Eventually. Let's talk about rejection. It stings, especially when you know you did everything right. But being rejected doesn't mean you're unworthy. It doesn't mean you should stop being a good man. It doesn't mean you need to become colder, meaner, tougher. Too many men, after heartbreak, go down a dark road. They lose faith in kindness. They become jaded, angry, resentful. But remember this, rejection doesn't define your worth. It reveals what was never meant for you. You might not be loved by her, but that doesn't mean you won't be loved by someone who sees your kindness as strength, not weakness. Someone who doesn't just tolerate your loyalty, but cherishes it. Someone whose soul doesn't just want your goodness, but matches it. And until then, keep growing, keep healing, keep becoming more of yourself. Real love doesn't come because you're good. Real love comes because you're you, and someone sees it, feels it, and values it without needing a list of reasons. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to prove yourself. You just have to be real and patient. Because one day you'll meet someone who doesn't just appreciate your goodness, but reciprocates it. Until then, walk your path with pride. Be the kind of man who leads with truth, treats others with dignity, and doesn't change his values just because the world didn't reward him instantly. Because the world might not always respect it, but the right person will. And that love will be deep, mutual, and free of games. Let's talk about a pain most men rarely confess. The pain of being invisible. You show up. You support her dreams. You remember the little things. You don't play games. You try to be emotionally available. You try to protect without controlling, lead without dominating, love without suffocating. And yet, she says, you're such a great guy, but you get friend-zoned, or worse, replaced by someone who doesn't seem to care at all. And you're left thinking, what's the point of being good if no one chooses you? That moment, right there, is where many men either evolve or break. Because being overlooked, despite doing everything right, creates deep confusion. It challenges your identity. It makes you feel like your goodness is worthless. And in that silence, a dangerous voice whispers, maybe I need to become someone else. Maybe being a good man isn't enough anymore. But I'm here to tell you, that voice is lying. We live in a world that sometimes rewards bravado more than kindness, surface over substance. And when you see disrespectful, emotionally unavailable people being praised or desired, it's easy to lose faith in decency. But here's the challenge. Do not let rejection rob you of your integrity. The world doesn't need fewer good men. It needs more. But it needs good men who are also strong. Not in the gym bro, macho sense. I mean men who are strong in self-worth. Strong enough to say, even if I'm not chosen, I won't stop being kind. Even if I'm not loved the way I want, I won't start playing games. Even if others can't see my worth, I won't forget it. Because true masculinity isn't about dominance, it's about consistency. It's about knowing who you are and not letting heartbreak shake that foundation. Let's be real here. Being a good man doesn't mean being a doormat. It doesn't mean saying yes to everything. It doesn't mean tolerating disrespect in the name of love. Goodness without boundaries is not virtue. It's self-neglect. You don't earn respect by being endlessly available. You earn it by respecting yourself first. So if you're always giving, always bending, always sacrificing, and never receiving, it's time to pause and ask, am I doing this because I'm truly kind, or because I'm afraid I won't be loved unless I give too much? That's not love. That's fear in disguise. You must learn to say, no, I won't chase love that hurts me. Number, I won't change just to be accepted. Number, I won't beg for what I deserve. A good man isn't one who tolerates everything. It's one who knows what he deserves and never begs for less. You're not meant to be someone's safe option. You're not a rehab center for broken people. You're not a backup plan when the excitement fades. You deserve mutual love. Love where your silence is heard. Love where your peace is valued. Love where your loyalty isn't taken for granted. It's returned with fire. Too many men end up in one-sided relationships, not because they're weak, but because they believe their goodness should earn loyalty. But love isn't about earning. It's about connecting. And if the connection isn't there, if you're constantly overcompensating, that's not love. That's emotional debt. And trust me, you were never born to be loved out of guilt or obligation. You deserve to be loved out of desire, out of choice, out of someone saying, you, just as you are. Here's another brutal truth. Some men aren't being good. They're performing goodness, smiling when they're broken, helping when they're drained, agreeing when they want to scream, all because they believe this will buy them affection. But what's the cost of that performance? You lose your voice. You lose your edge. You lose your joy. Being good shouldn't mean abandoning yourself to gain others. You must learn to live authentically, not act. That means expressing your desires, speaking your truth, holding your standards, setting your limits, letting go of people who only want your peace but never offer theirs. Be good, but also be bold. Because real goodness isn't soft, it's steel wrapped in warmth. Let's not sugarcoat it. The path of a good man is often lonely. You'll be misunderstood, overlooked, misused. People will take your kindness for granted. They'll test your patience. They'll walk away and sometimes not even look back. But here's the beauty of walking this path. You sleep with peace. You live with purpose. You attract people who see your soul, not just your surface. In time, you'll find your circle. You'll find your partner. You'll find your people. And they won't love you because you're nice. They'll love you because you're real. Not perfect, not flawless, just real, and strong enough to stay good in a world that constantly tries to make you hard. So let me say this to every good man watching, listening, or sitting in silence with a heavy heart. You may not be loved by everyone. You may not be chosen by the one you wanted. You may not be praised loudly or rewarded quickly. But if you're true to yourself, if you carry your character with dignity, love will come. The right love, the equal love, the quiet and powerful love that says, I see you. Not for what you can give me, but for who you are. But until that moment comes, let your first love be self-respect. Because when you respect yourself, you'll stop chasing love that hurts you. You'll stop shrinking to fit. You'll stop performing to be picked. You'll walk tall, even alone. And that is the quiet revolution the world needs. So, to every man who's ever been hurt, rejected, overlooked, or misunderstood, I say, don't give up. Don't grow bitter. Don't lose your light. You're not failing. You're becoming. And one day, someone will look at you. Not the image of you, not the performance, but the real you, the good man, and say, I've been looking for you my whole life. Until then, keep becoming him. Thank you.